There's a country that every military strategist said would collapse within 5 years. A nation carved out of bloodshed and partition that experts predicted would crumble under the weight of its own contradictions. A land so geographically impossible, stretching from glacial peaks taller than anywhere else on Earth to deserts hotter than human endurance should allow, that its very borders seem drawn by a madman's hand. Yet 77 years later, this failed experiment has not only survived but emerged as the nuclear-armed guardian of the world's most dangerous crossroads. This is Pakistan, a country that Alexander the Great couldn't conquer, that broke the British Empire's resolve, and that continues to defy every prediction of its demise. But here's what will shock you. This seemingly young nation isn't young at all. Beneath its modern borders lies the archaeological evidence of humanity's first urban civilization. Cities with drainage systems more advanced than many modern capitals, standardized weights and measures used 5,000 years ago, and a script that remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Every empire that has ever mattered has either been born here, died here, or been forever changed by this land. The Mughals built their greatest monuments here. The British learned the true cost of empire here. The Soviet Union met its match in these mountains. And today, as global powers circle like predators, Pakistan stands at the center of it all, the beating heart of Asia that refuses to stop pumping, no matter how many times the world has tried to still it forever. This is the story of the nation that history forgot to kill. Stand at the northern tip of Pakistan, where the Karakoram, Hindu Kush, and Himalayan ranges converge, and you are witnessing one of Earth's most violent geological dramas. Here, tectonic plates continue their ancient battle, thrusting peaks skyward with such force that mountains grow taller each year. K2, the world's second highest peak, stands sentinel over this cosmic wrestling match, its pyramid summit a testament to the raw power that shaped this land. But this is no mere geographic accident. Pakistan's position at the crossroads of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East has made it the stage for humanity's greatest drama. Every invasion, every migration, every cultural exchange that has shaped Asian civilization has passed through these valleys and mountain passes. The tension is palpable even today. You can feel it in the air, thick with the weight of history and the promise of future conflicts yet to unfold. The Indus River, Pakistan's liquid spine, tells the most compelling story of all. Born from glacial tears in the world's highest mountains, it carves a path through landscapes so diverse they seem to belong to different planets. From the alpine meadows of the north to the arid deserts of Sindh, the Indus has been both creator and destroyer, bringing life to civilizations and washing away empires with equal indifference. 5,000 years ago, when most of the world still lived in primitive settlements, the Indus Valley burst forth with cities that would make modern urban planners weep with envy. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro weren't just settlements. They were humanity's first experiment in urban perfection. Their streets were laid out in perfect grids, their drainage systems more sophisticated than many modern cities, their standardized weights and measures evidence of a bureaucratic precision that wouldn't be seen again for millennia. But here's the mystery that continues to haunt archaeologists. The Harappan civilization vanished almost overnight. No evidence of war, no signs of natural disaster. They simply disappeared, leaving behind empty cities and an undeciphered script that mocks our attempts to understand them. What happened to the world's first urban planners? What catastrophe could erase a civilization so advanced that they had indoor plumbing while the rest of the world was still discovering fire? The tension between what we know and what remains hidden creates an irresistible pull. Every excavation in Pakistan might be the one that finally unlocks the secret of the Harappans, finally gives voice to a people who have been silent for 4,000 years. If Pakistan's geography made it the crossroads of Asia, its strategic importance made it the highway of history's greatest conquerors. The Khyber Pass, that narrow cleft in the mountains separating Afghanistan from Pakistan, has witnessed more bloodshed, more ambition, more human drama than perhaps any other geographic feature on Earth. Alexander the Great limped through these passes in 326 BCE, his armies decimated but his dreams intact. The young Macedonian had conquered most of the known world, but it was in the valleys of Pakistan that he faced his greatest test. At the Battle of Hydaspes, fought on the banks of what is now the Jhelum River, Alexander encountered King Porus, a local ruler whose courage and military genius nearly ended the great conqueror's eastern ambitions. The emotional stakes couldn't have been higher. Alexander's men, homesick and war-weary, threatened mutiny. His beloved horse Bucephalus died in Pakistan, breaking the heart of a man who had never known defeat. Yet it was here, in this land of impossible beauty and fierce resistance, that Alexander realized the limits of conquest. Pakistan didn't just stop Alexander, it transformed him, teaching him that some lands cannot be held, only experienced. Centuries later, the Mughal emperors would learn the same lesson. Babur, the founder of the Mughal dynasty, fell in love with the gardens of Kabul but built his empire's heart in the fertile plains of Pakistan. His descendants would create architectural marvels here. The Shalimar Gardens in Lahore, the tombs of Multan, the forts of Punjab, each structure a love letter written in stone and mortar to a land that had captured their souls. The religious landscape of Pakistan reads like a fever dream of divine intervention. Here Buddhism first took root and spread across Asia. The University of Taxila, established over 2,500 years ago, drew students from China, Central Asia, and beyond, making it the world's first truly international center of learning. The Buddha himself walked these paths, and his teachings echoed through valleys that would later resonate with entirely different prayers. But the spiritual story of Pakistan is one of layered faith, of religions building upon the foundations of their predecessors. When Arab armies brought Islam to the region in the 8th century, they didn't erase what came before, they transformed it. Sufi saints, those mystical poets of Islam, found in Pakistan's landscapes the perfect backdrop for their spiritual quests. Their shrines dot the country today, from the tomb of Data Ganj Bakhsh in Lahore to the shrine of Lal Shahbaz Qalandar in Saywan, each one a testament to Islam's ability to adapt and flourish in this ancient land. The tension between tradition and transformation continues to define Pakistan's spiritual landscape. At the shrine of Shah Abdul Latif Bhaitai in Sindh, Hindu pilgrims join Muslim devotees in honoring a saint whose poetry transcended religious boundaries. This is Pakistan's secret strength. Its ability to hold contradictions without breaking, to be simultaneously ancient and modern, traditional and revolutionary. To speak of Pakistani culture is to attempt describing a kaleidoscope while it's still turning. Every region, every province, every valley has contributed its own colors to the national tapestry. In Punjab, the land of 5 rivers, the culture pulses with the rhythm of Bhangra, a dance so infectious it has conquered dance floors from London to Los Angeles. The poetry of Bulleh Shah and Waris Shah still moves hearts centuries after their deaths, their verses about love and loss as relevant today as they were in the Mughal courts. Sindhi culture, shaped by the mighty Indus and the mystical traditions of Sufi saints, gave the world ajrak, the block-printed fabric whose intricate patterns tell stories of resistance and resilience. Every thread in an ajrak carries the memory of craftsmen who refused to let their art die even under foreign rule. In Balochistan, Pakistan's largest province, nomadic traditions persist in a landscape so harsh it seems designed to test human endurance. Balochi folk tales speak of heroes who could tame the wildest horses and love stories that span decades of separation. The haunting melodies of Balochi folk songs capture the vastness of desert nights and the longing of people for whom distance is measured not in miles but in memories. The northwest frontier province, now Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, beats to the rhythm of the Atan, a warrior dance that celebrates both battle and brotherhood. Pashto poetry, with its emphasis on honor, courage, and hospitality, reflects a culture that has never been fully conquered, never been fully tamed. August 14, 1947, a date that reverberates through Pakistan's collective consciousness like a gunshot in a quiet valley. The partition of the Indian subcontinent wasn't just a political event. It was a human catastrophe and a miraculous birth rolled into one blood-soaked moment. The creation of Pakistan represented the fulfillment of a dream that had seemed impossible, a homeland for the Muslims of the Indian subcontinent. But the cost was staggering. Millions of people uprooted themselves overnight, leaving behind ancestral homes, family graves, and childhood memories. The trains that carried refugees between India and Pakistan became rolling monuments to human suffering, arriving at their destinations filled with corpses instead of passengers. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Pakistan's founder, lived just long enough to see his dream realized and his worst fears confirmed. The great leader had envisioned a modern, progressive nation where religion would be a personal matter and minorities would be protected. Instead, he witnessed the birth pangs of a country torn between competing visions of its future. The emotional weight of partition still haunts Pakistan. Every family has stories of migration, of loss, of starting over with nothing but hope and determination. These stories have become the foundation myths of modern Pakistan, tales of resilience that explain how a nation created by refugees and migrants became one of the world's most dynamic societies. Today, Pakistan stands at another crossroads, facing challenges that would break lesser nations. The war in Afghanistan has spilled across its western borders, bringing with it refugees, violence, and instability. The complex relationship with India continues to define much of Pakistan's foreign policy, with Kashmir remaining an emotional flashpoint that has sparked 3 wars and countless smaller conflicts. Yet it is precisely these challenges that reveal Pakistan's true character. This is a nation that has survived military coups, natural disasters, terrorist attacks, and economic crises that would have shattered countries with less complex histories. Each crisis becomes another chapter in Pakistan's ongoing story of survival and adaptation. The youth of Pakistan, now comprising over 60% of the population, embody this spirit of resilience and hope. In the technology parks of Karachi and Lahore, young entrepreneurs are building the next generation of Pakistani companies. In the music studios of Islamabad, fusion bands are creating sounds that blend traditional instruments with modern rhythms. In the cricket stadiums across the nation, a sport inherited from British colonizers has become a source of national pride and unity. As night falls over Pakistan, from the glacial peaks of the north to the mangrove forests of the south, the country settles into a rhythm as old as civilization itself. The call to prayer echoes from minarets that have witnessed empires rise and fall. In village courtyards, storytellers continue traditions that predate written history. In city streets, the descendants of Harappan merchants haggle over prices with the same intensity their ancestors brought to ancient marketplaces. This is Pakistan's true gift to the world, not just its strategic location or its cultural treasures, but its demonstration that a nation can be young and ancient simultaneously, modern and traditional, diverse and unified. Pakistan proves that the heart of Asia beats not in any single city or institution, but in the collective dreams and struggles of its people. The mystery that began this story, how a young nation became the keeper of ancient wisdom, finds its answer in the Pakistani people themselves. They are the living bridges between past and future, the human embodiment of all the civilizations that have called this land home. In their faces, you can see the features of Greek soldiers and Mongol horsemen, of Arab merchants and Persian poets, of British administrators and local rulers. Pakistan's story is far from over. Each sunrise brings new challenges, new opportunities, new chapters in a narrative that began with the first human settlements in the Indus Valley and continues with every child born in its hospitals, every poem written in its cafes, every dream conceived in its universities. The heart of Asia beats strongest when under pressure, and Pakistan has known more pressure than most nations could endure. Yet it continues to beat, strong and steady, pumping life through the arteries of a region that holds half the world's population. In its survival lies proof that some stories are too powerful to end, some nations too vital to fail, and some hearts too strong to stop beating. Pakistan is more than a country. It is a testament to the human capacity for endurance, adaptation, and hope. It is the place where Asia comes to remember its past and dream about its future. And in that role, it will remain the heart of Asia for as long as hearts continue to beat and dreams continue to be born.